Half the time it's IEDs. They find IEDs and we have to work with the counter IED team, which are the combat engineers. Once we get there, I'm in a Bison. We have a crew commander and a driver, and I'm in the back, which is a mini ambulance, which is enough room for like 2 patients. If they need a medic out for any kind of reason, somebody got hurt, they just need that extra person, then we get out. We hear on TV so many bad things, but there's actually some good people out there. They're very friendly. They're not all in the same category.
Actually, we have about 45 guys here on the ground. My section consists of 10 members. Actually, one of my best soldiers is Pauline Chung. She is our RWS gunner, and also a GIB, which stands for Guy in the Back, or dismount. And she's very good at her job. She is a very skilled gunner with the C6 and very skilled at handling the piece of equipment. Very proud of her, and she's very physically fit and very competitive. So she makes us guys work for our money in the gym. Just to let you know that.
Today we were doing a convoy out to one of the FOBs to resupply them with equipment. My particular job is generally either RWS gunner, which is manning the C6 that's mounted on top of our vehicles.
My family is very supportive. They're very good with keeping in touch, especially in Kandahar airfield. We have access to internet, phones, so communication is not an issue there. They're a little worried, as they should be, but otherwise they're happy that I'm doing my job here.
Numerous people are working hard behind the scenes to make sure the convoys arrive safely.
Basically, the Logistical Operations Cell, we're responsible for coordination of all the movement of materials throughout the area of operations for TFK. We work closely with the engineers to identify which equipment is required in particular areas to support the battle group and all TFK forces, and we'll work in conjunction with bringing that out, establishing small patrol bases or forward operating bases for the units out in the field, and we'll work together then to make sure that all the requirements are available at the right time. There are certain areas that are a higher threat for our combat logistics patrols to coordinate and deliver supplies. Essentially, we will travel with a certain number of force protection vehicles, armored type vehicles. However, as a logistics convoy, the majority of our vehicles are supply vehicles, so although they're very safe and heavily armored, they don't carry the weapon systems that a lot of the larger armored vehicles will carry.
I'm the one that deals with the execution of it when it's going on day to day. So I will track our combat logistics patrols as they're actually conducting their patrols, and I'll monitor the civilian contracted airlift that we use for sustainment for outside in the areas when we're resupplying different groups. And so it's really the day-to-day sustainment that I'm focusing on in my position here.
My name's Captain Alicia Saucier, and I'm the planning officer for the National Support Element. And my job is to determine how supplies will move forward to the areas that require them. And those kind of supplies include food, ammunition, fuel, people who need to move forward, vehicles that need to be moved back and forth. I look at a variety of different ways to transport things. We have combat logistics patrols, which are our truckers driving out with them with our force protection. We have contracted air, which flies out certain things. And we also have jingle trucks, which are local nationals who drive out things for us. And we also have contractors who mainly deal in fuel. So they'll drive it direct with their own private security.
Civilian contractors are working in Kandahar Province to provide much needed support to the Canadian forces. Mr. and Mrs. Waring were honored by the Canadian government for their dedicated service.
It's a pleasure working with you. I think we have a good working relationship.
Absolutely.
And you know that because your son is out there as well. So thank you.
Well, we have in Afghanistan now about 32 aircraft, of which 6 are in direct support of the Canadian military. Basically, what we do is we provide combat resupply to the forward operating bases within the Canadian area responsibility for the Canadians. By moving by air, obviously, we get the traffic off the roads and we reduce the IED threat. So it's a certain aspect of life-saving from that perspective.
What we thought we'd do is we'll go over this aircraft. Folks, I got 9 more aircraft inbound. Today's a full day. We had 26 aircraft flying. It's a very, very good aircraft, very versatile for high, hot, and heavy operations, which we do here.
Every morning that I get a chance to come out to the ramp and watch our aircraft with our crews resupply, flying out to support the troops, it reinvigorates me to sit behind a desk and keep going, because our guys fly in harm's way every day, sending troops food and supplies out to the troops who are in harm's way every day. They make the difference, and being able to be part of that makes it even more special being here. You don't get a job that rewards you every day because you know you're making a difference, as everyone you support makes a difference.
I work for the NSE National Support Element Transport Platoon here. I'm a column commander on Roto 9. These trucks behind me are what we use on the convoys when we go out. Our job as second line service support, anything that comes in, it's our job to take it out to the FOBs. So anything that moves, anything they need, it's our job to get it to them. This truck behind me is a purse pod we have, and that is how we transport people from place to place in the FOBs. It's a safe way for us to get people around in this type of environment, so that way we don't have to worry about them when they're outside the wire, they say. We've done so many tours that it's hard on the Reg Force purse, I believe. So that's why we have to be augmented with the reservists. There's just so many missions that there's not enough Reg Force personnel, so you have to augment with the reservists.
I'm part of NSC Ammunition Platoon. Well, our primary job is support FOBs, support CAF in general in regards to ammunition. If it's up to us to keep a track of their numbers, make sure they keep their levels up, so nobody ever gets below a level that there's an emergency run have to be required.
My name's Corporal Sarah Thompson. I'm right now attached with NSC in the weapons section. The vehicle behind us is an RG-31, and we work on the RWS system inside of it. It's all a computerized weapon system that the user can sit inside the vehicle, be protected, and be able to fire outside of it, obviously. There's also grenade launchers on the top. We maintain those. All the computer systems that run the system. I chose to become a weapons tech because I enjoy putting things apart, or putting things together and taking them apart, and not so good with vehicles, so I figured weapons was the next best choice. So that was about it.
Yeah, every Saturday we have what's called the Bazaar School, which lets the boys of the fathers and nephews from the vendors come over here and get a formal lesson of 1 hour. They're taught by a Kandahar teacher who teaches them English and manners. And there's also 1 hour before the program and 1 hour after that allows the soldiers from Kandahar to interact with the boys in the Hamkari project.
We got like 50 students to 55. I'm teaching there, I'm the teacher, and every Saturday I'm teaching them the English, math, such as my own language, Pashto, and manner.
When we started this program 6 months ago, we weren't sure whether the kids would enjoy a game of soccer or not, but they love soccer, so we play every week now. And it's true what they say, soccer breaks down barriers. Yeah, they take the game very, very seriously, and I can assure you the military are trying to win, but more often than not the Afghan boys come out on top, that's for sure. I should say one of the most dangerous things about playing soccer in Afghanistan is, I don't know whether you can see, but most of the boys wear sandals. So as well as seeing the ball being projected through the air, more often than not you will see a pair of sandals being projected through the air as well. This is the new school. It was built by a Slovak engineering company, and it was completed 3 weeks ago. And it's a real step in a positive direction. We're hoping to get some air conditioning in here over the next few weeks, get some power, get some lighting. So it's very basic at the moment, but we've got big plans to improve things in here.
Task Force Destiny at Kandahar Airfield provides support to Afghan nationals and coalition soldiers. Each medevac crew consists of 2 pilots, 1 medic, 1 mechanic, and at times a visiting nurse or surgeon.
Well, dust-off is an old historic Vietnam term for basically the medevac there. The infantry guys on the ground in Vietnam used to, when they heard the term dust-off coming in, they knew their wounded were going to be lifted up and out of the hot LZs or the areas where they were injured. We've kind of readopted those call signs here within the last